Welcome. This is a slow flow vinyasa style yoga class. We are going to say low to the ground. The majority of this class will begin seated. We will spend some time on our knees and we will end lying down. Throughout the class, I do not expect to use many props, but I do have 2 blocks close by just in case we need them. If you have blocks, you're welcome to do the same. If you don't have blocks, don't worry about it. Anything that I do with blocks can be done without them also. Throughout this practice, I think we will keep breath as our focal point. So I like to get into a pose, find comfort in that pose, and then start to check in with my breath, kind of drop into my body and see how I feel. That's what I would love for you as well. I know it can be difficult to quiet our minds as we move through a yoga practice, especially if we haven't been moving too much at the start of this year or coming off of the end of last year. So I invite you to see if you can let your mind quiet and use your breath as a focal point, drawing your energy or your awareness to your breath when the mind starts to get noisy. So let's begin in this seat. I'm sitting in Sukhasana, seated position. You could be cross-legged. If this doesn't feel great for you, you could sit up on a pillow or you could sit up on a blanket. Once you find your seat, rest the hands on your knees or your thighs and close your eyes to take 3 rounds of cleansing breath. Take a long breath in through your nose. Big release as you exhale. Do that a couple more times at your own pace, lengthening on each inhale, letting your exhale be a little longer than your breath in. Maybe doing one more round of cleansing breath, letting it be the longest breath in you've taken, breathing in beyond your chest, imagining that you're breathing down to your belly. And as you exhale, press out extra air at the bottom of the breath. Very nice. If it feels comfortable, keep the eyes closed. Let your breath come to a natural rhythm now, in and out through your noses. Taking a moment of awareness to see how we feel throughout our bodies. Connecting with the mat, arriving on the mat. And then beginning to notice the length and the quality of your breath. Is your breath shallow? Is it already that you are breathing in deeply beyond the chest and letting all that air out before you take another breath? Just noticing the quality first, and then we might play with seeing if we can improve the quality of our breath. We've had a moment to play with it. Let's see if we can take nice, smooth inhale. Now we're in through the nose, out through the nose. So nice, smooth inhale. Beyond the chest, fill up with air, maybe extend through top of the head as you do. And as you exhale, press all the air out. Do that a couple more times. Make it as dramatic as you like. It could be inhaling and you sit up nice and tall. Exhaling, maybe you release a little bit. A couple more times. Keep this rhythm of breath going as you begin to notice where you're clenching or tightening throughout your body. For me, I often clench through my jaw. I might be clenching through my hands. Maybe that you're carrying some tension or tightness through your belly. Notice those places. See if with your breath you can release just a little bit. Sitting up a little bit taller, opening the chest, let your chin fall down to your chest. With the shoulders open and chin to chest, you might feel a stretch through the back of your neck. Hold that for a breath. And come back up through your seat. With your right hand, place it on top of the head and draw your right ear towards your right shoulder, feeling a stretch now on the left side. And come through center, do the other side. Now left hand to head, drawing left ear to shoulder, feeling a little bit of a stretch on the right side. Come through center again, take shoulder rolls forward and back. Let the shoulders fall back and down. Place your right hand beside you. Reach through the left arm. You're grounding evenly through both sit bones as you reach through the left arm, reaching all the way through the fingertips to lengthen the left side of the body. Take a breath. Go to the other side, left hand down, reach through the right fingertips. Alternate sides a couple more times, back and forth. Finish on your left side. As you come through center, twist to your right, place your right hand behind you. Staying seated nice and tall as you do this. To add or deepen the stretch, you can gaze over the right shoulder, take one round of breath. Come through center and go to the other side now. Left hand is behind you. Sitting up nice and tall, gaze over left shoulder, take a breath. Come back through your seat. Uncross your legs. Plant your feet in front of you a little wider than hip width distance. If you're having a hard time staying seated up nice and tall, walk your feet a little further out, or let your feet walk a little further out. Then place your hands up on fingertips behind you, moving through windshield wipers in our seat. So as you do this, you might need to make little adjustments with the width of your feet. Play with how that feels. Do it a couple more times on each side. When you feel even on both sides, come back through center and we'll make our way to tabletop. Reaching your tabletop, check back at your knees. So you're checking back to see that your knees are just about underneath the hips and your wrists are just about underneath the shoulders. Spread through all 10 fingers, press through the fingers, press through the palms, take a breath. Beginning with our cat-cows, on an inhale, hammock your belly, lift your tail and your chest, and when you exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Want to get a rhythm with your own breath going to continue your cat-cows. You'll inhale as you hammock and exhale as you round. Your breath might be super long, it might be a little bit shorter. Play with trying to let the length of your movement match up with the length of your breath. Let's do it a couple more times. Inhaling as you hammock, exhaling as you round. Make your way through a neutral spine again. As you reach a neutral spine, we'll play with rocking right to left. So I'm rocking my shoulders and my hips to the right, then shoulders and hips to the left, feeling a little bit of a stretch on the side of the body. Do that a few times, back and forth.
When you feel even on both sides, round through your spine, chin to chest. Press back to a child's pose, resting your hips towards your heels and walking your fingertips as far forward as they go. Then maybe resting through the forehead. Let's take a few rounds of breath here. Last breath in your child's pose.
Make your way through your table, and as you're going through table, press the hips all the way forward, keeping the arms straight. Open your chest, coming into a little bit of a back bend. So I am avoiding crunching in my low back by lengthening through my spine as I open my chest and lifting up from the mat by pressing through my palms. Go back and forth between child's pose and this stretch a few more times. Again, at your pace. So you're going between child's pose and pressing hips forward, opening the chest. Keep it going. Maybe use your breath as you're moving. Last time, when you are pressed forward, stay there, take a full round of breath. And then back through tabletop. When you reach your tabletop, we are going to walk our left knee a little bit closer into center and then send the right leg out. Right leg is kicking back. You're sending a lot of energy through that heel, pressing away from the mat with the hands. Take a couple rounds of breath. With your next breath, send the left arm forward, so you're reaching through left arm and right leg is lifted. One more breath here. We'll switch sides. Bring the knee and the hand back down to the mat. Walk your right knee a little bit more towards center. Send the left leg up. Hold here 2 or 3 breaths. Now bringing right arm up, so we're adding the arm. The left leg stays where it is, right arm reaches. 2 or 3 breaths. Last breath. Bring both hands down to the mat, both knees back to the mat. Small adjustments, take a cat-cow. Back through our neutral spine, let's lift right knee up and take circles. So we are drawing a circle with our knee 3 times in one direction, right knee. Switch the direction of your circles. When you've done 3 in both directions, plant your right foot beside you. I'm going to come up just for a second to talk you through it. So right foot is planted beside you. Your toes are facing away from you. Your hands will stay down. When you're here, play with circles through the hips. So circling the hips 3 times in one direction. Switch the direction.
Stop the circles and press the hips back towards the heels, keeping this right foot where it is and turning this into kind of a child's pose. Letting the head hang heavy, couple breaths. Press up again and bring your right knee in. We'll switch sides. Drawing circles with the left knee now, 3 times in one direction. Switch the direction. Plant the left foot beside you. Left foot is pointing away from your body. Hands are still down on the mat and begin your circles. Circling the hips 3 times, one direction. Switch the direction. Stop the circles. Go back into your forward fold. Sending the hips back towards the heels. Make any adjustments you need to if you're feeling uncomfortable. And heavy through your head, couple breaths. Press back up to table, both knees to the mat. When you reach your table, come up to the knees and we'll transition from here into lunges, starting with the right side. Right foot is coming forward. This is where you could use blocks if you have them, and I'll bring them forward just in case anybody wants to try that. So I'll place blocks kind of outside of the front foot on either side. Choosing the depth of the stretch that feels good for you. If you want a deeper stretch, you can walk your foot a little further forward. Press your knee above your ankle. If you want a more gentle stretch, walk your foot in a little bit more. Very nice. Once you find the spot that feels good for you, stay there and reach the arms up. Let's take 3 rounds of breath, but we'll add in some movement. So we're breathing in as we reach. As you exhale, goddess your arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, goddess. Last time, inhale, reach up. Exhale and goddess your arms. Hold here for 1 round of breath. Reach the arms up as you breathe in, and as you exhale, bring the hands down to either fingertips or to the blocks. I'll use the blocks for now. We're preparing to go from runner's stretch to lunge a few times. I like to walk my right foot forward just a little bit so that when I start moving, my back hip isn't going to go behind my knee like a child's pose. I'm trying to keep my hip, so left hip is what I'm talking about. I'm trying to keep that above my knee here. Almost above my knee or mostly above my knee. So once we start to move, you are drawing right hip back in line with the left, straightening through your leg. Press back to your lunge. Do that a couple more times at your own pace. I'll move the blocks now for anyone who's not using them. You would have fingertips down on the mat, forward and back. So just depending on everyone's body, you're going to decide where the hands feel best. For me, mine are just a little bit behind my ankle, maybe like a whole hand print behind my ankle. But closer into the hips might make you feel more stable, or further away might make you feel stable. Let's hold in our runner's stretch now. I see a lot of people feeling a lot more stable holding in runner's stretch when the hands are closer into the hips. So you might walk the hands just a little bit more towards your hips, up on blocks or down on fingertips. Draw this right hip back in line with the left. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Press forward to your lunge, and we'll transition from here into lizard pose, walking your right foot to the outside of your mat and bringing your hands to the inside of your feet or your foot.
This again, we could use blocks for, so you might be up on your fingertips now, or you might be up on your palms. If you want to use blocks, you could use the blocks under the hands. If you want to go into a deeper stretch, you could come down to forearms on your block, or you could come down to forearms on your mat. You can do that gradually as well, so you could start up on the palms, slowly move towards the forearms. Choose what feels best for you. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath. If you're down on the forearms, come back up to the palms. And once you get there, bring the right knee back in line with the left. In our tabletop now, move around a little bit, maybe a cat-cow, rock the hips right to left. Come up to the knees and prepare to transition to our left side. So left foot is stepping forward. Keep those blocks close by if you're using them. And again, find the depth of your lunge that feels best in your body. So it might be that you walk the foot a little further forward for a deeper stretch, or walk it a little closer in for a more gentle stretch. When you find your spot, reach your arms up, take a breath. Start to move with your breath. Inhale as you reach and exhale as you goddess or bull post your arms. Do that a couple more times. Hold the goal post, take a breath. Reach the arms up as you breathe in. And as you exhale, hands come down for your runner stretch. Using the blocks or not, walk your left foot a little bit further forward. Begin to move with your breath, drawing the left hip back and straightening the left leg, pressing forward to your lunge again. Go between runner stretch and lunge 2 or 3 times at your pace. Next time you're in runner stretch, walk the hands a little closer into the hips, up on blocks or fingertips. Lengthen through your spine as you draw your left hip back in line with the right. Take a couple breaths. Press forward to your lunge to transition to lizard. Walk your left foot to the left side of the mat. Hands are now on the inside of the foot. Up on blocks or up on your palms, fingertips, whatever it is. We're staying about 5 rounds of breath. Again, you can play with the depth by adjusting the placement of either the palms or the forearms. A couple more rounds of breath here. If you're down on forearms, make your way up to the palms. When you get there, come back to tabletop, stepping the left knee back to meet the right. As you reach your table, this time let's take a cat-cow, inhale, hammock. Exhale, round the spine. Press back to child's pose. For this child's pose, I have my knees together, my arms at my sides. If that feels good for you, you could take that option. If you prefer, you could have the knees more wide on your mat. The feet are in and touching, and then arms would reach forward like we did at the start of the practice. Choose your spot, about 5 rounds of breath.
last couple rounds of breath.
Make your way up to a seat. As you arrive in your seat, if it feels comfortable to stay seated on the heels, stay for a moment. If you know that that doesn't feel good, go into a normal seat with legs out long. If you're with me, clasp the hands behind you, open the chest. Release the clasped hands, roll through your wrists, rolling a few times in one direction. Switch the direction. Let's place our hands down on the mat, so palms are going down on the mat, fingertips are facing back toward you. You can press as deeply as feels good in your body, so I'm pressing all the way through my palms. And then to deepen that stretch, if you're deepening it, you'll press back a little bit or maybe even round a little bit through your spine. Let's take a breath or two. You could stay here, or you can play with doing the same thing now with the palm or the top of the hand down on the mat. Let's come back up through our seat. And as you arrive in the seat, if you're not there already, we're coming down all the way to our sit bones and sending the legs out long. Adjust through your sit bones, sit up nice and tall, reach your arms up, take a breath in. As you exhale, forward fold, reaching for your feet or your shins. In your forward fold, lengthen a little bit through the spine. If you have discomfort through your low back or you're feeling tightness through your hamstrings, you could bend the knees. Maybe let your head hang heavy. A couple more rounds of breath in this fold. Last breath. Make your way up through your seat. As you arrive in your seat, hug your right knee in towards your chest. Again, sitting up nice and tall. Twist to your right, place right hand behind you. Gaze over right shoulder, take 2 breaths, 2 or 3. Come through your seat and switch sides. Bring the left knee in, twist to your left. Left hand is behind you. Back through center, send the left leg out, bring the right knee in again, and we'll go into figure 4 to start. Right ankle is on your left thigh. Your foot is hanging off just a little bit. Sit up nice and tall, facing forward. Stay here or forward fold. Come up through your seat and either stay where you are, so in this figure 4 shape, or play with turning this into half lotus, where you would bring the top of this foot, so right foot, in a little bit closer to your hip crease. So what I've done is just move my foot a little closer in towards me, a little closer in towards my hip crease, like I said. And I'm trying to let top of the foot be down as much as possible, not pushing it too hard, noticing how I feel. Again, staying here in your seat or forward folding, couple breaths. Come back up through your seat and we'll switch sides. Right leg goes out long, left comes in for figure 4 to start. Left ankle, right thigh, my foot is hanging off just a little bit. staying seated or forward fold. Back up for your seat for half lotus or remain in your figure four. If you're doing half lotus, the top of your foot is coming in towards the hip crease as far as feels good in your body, holding there or forward folding. Make your way through your seat, uncross the legs, and I will turn towards you so you can see a little bit better. We will try to do either lotus or double pigeon, which would be using both legs for what we did in our figure four. So I'll start with double pigeon. Right leg is going to be on the bottom. You want your right shin to be parallel with the front of the mat, so or whichever edge of the mat you're facing, and then you're going to bring the left foot on top. The left ankle is on my right thigh with the foot hanging off towards the side. So if you look down at your legs, your shins are almost parallel. They don't need to be perfect. It's kind of like you're in pigeon, except you're in pigeon with both legs. See how that feels. And since we're all doing it, we'll hold here a couple rounds of breath and then go on to the next option if you're trying lotus. So if you want to keep your double pigeon, stay here. If you want to try lotus, send the right leg out long and bring the top of your left foot into the hip crease like we did last time. Keep it there as you bring the right leg in again, and we're trying to bring top of the foot to top of the opposite hip crease now. So if you're able to bring it in, great. If you're not, don't force it. You could stay in that double pigeon. We're just playing for a few more rounds of breaths. I'm trying to show what I look like, but you can see that both my feet are up on the thighs, sitting up or forward folding. About 3 rounds of breath. Well, let's switch sides. Let's send both legs out long. And now for double pigeon, left foot is going to be on the bottom, so left shin is on the bottom and right ankle is on the top. The foot is coming off. You could stay here. Well, we are all going to stay here for about 3 rounds of breath. Okay, so if you're trying lotus, send the left foot out long. Bring the top of your foot to the inside of your hip crease. And then opposite leg comes in to wrap on top or be placed on top. So seeing if you can get to this place. If you can, great. Again, if you can't, don't push it. You can play with it to the extent that your body allows. And we'll see if we can hold for 2 or 3 rounds of breath, seated or forward folding. Last round of breath here. Uncross the legs, nice and gently. Send both legs out long. I'll turn on my mat again. Once your legs are out long, let's do a cleansing forward fold. Reach the arms up, take a breath in. As you exhale, forward fold. Reach for the feet or the shins. Stay in your fold, heavy head, 3 rounds of breath. One more round of breath. Make your way up through your seat. As you arrive in your seat, we'll come to lie down all the way on the mat. If you have a ponytail, you can take it out. Once you're lying down, hug your knees in towards your chest. Place your hands on your knees and use them to circle the knees, open and closed. Let's do that a few times. Switch the direction of the circle. Plant your feet wide on your mat for windshield wipers. So your feet are on either side of the mat. The further that your feet are from one another, the better it feels for me. Place your hands on your belly. Let your knees fall all the way to the right. Let's stay here for 3 rounds of breath, either eyes open or closed. Bring it back through center to the other side. Knees are now falling to the left. And again, eyes open or closed, 3 rounds of breath. Come through center. When you're at center, hug the right knee in towards your chest. Point and flex your right toes. Roll through the right ankle. Switch the direction. Clasp your fingers beneath your knee. Lift the sole of the foot up towards the sky. This is like half happy baby, or it is half happy baby. You can stay here, nice and long through your neck, grounding through the shoulders. Or with your right hand, you can reach for the outside of your right foot and then draw the right shoulder back down to the mat. Whichever you choose, let's stay 3 rounds of breath. Last full round of breath. Bring it to figure 4, right ankle, left thigh. Stay grounded with your left foot or clasp your fingers beneath your thigh and lift the left. 3 rounds of breath wherever you chose. If you lifted the left foot, ground it into the mat, uncross the legs, hug the left knee in, point and flex left toes. Roll through your ankle. Switch the direction. Move into your half happy baby, clasping fingers beneath the knee, sole of the foot to the sky, or with the left hand reaching for the outside of the left foot. Whichever you choose, you're grounded through the shoulders, long through the neck, resting through the head, 3 rounds of breath. Last breath. Move into figure 4, left ankle, right thigh. Same option, stay grounded or lift the right foot up, clasping beneath the thigh. 3 breaths here. Uncross your legs. We're going into full happy baby now. Either clasping your fingers beneath your knees or reaching for the outsides of both feet.
You should choose the one that allows you to stay grounded through your shoulders. And I like to avoid rounding in my spine, so I'm lengthening through the spine, kind of pressing through the hips. Once I find that spot, or once you find that spot, you can move around a little bit, rocking side to side or playing with alternating, straightening one leg and the other. About 3 rounds of breath here. If you are holding on to your feet, draw your feet toward one another. Knees are still bent, rock a little bit. Move into butterfly, bring the soles of the feet together on the mat, let your knees open up. Bring a hand to your heart space, hand to your belly. Soften into your mats, close your eyes. Let's take 3 rounds of breath. Stay here for your Shavasana or send your legs out long on the mat. Maybe a shorter Shavasana. Let's take once you do find your spot, let's take a long round of breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let the breath come to a natural rhythm. Allow yourselves to fully rest, fully release for these last few moments in our Shavasana. Last breath where you are. From where you are, bend your knees, plant your feet into the mat. We'll make our way from a seat up, or we'll make our way up to a seat from here. Good, rock and roll a few times, or maybe one time. Meet in a cross-legged seat. When you reach that seat, take a big inhale, send the arms up overhead. As you exhale, let the palms come to prayer. Close the eyes, one more breath in, breath out. And place hand on the heart space, hand on the belly, let your chin fall down to your chest. This will be our bow for closing the practice. You can stay in your bow for a moment, close it with prayer or reflection. Namaste. Blink open the eyes when you feel ready. Thank you for practicing with me. We spent about 40 minutes together. I hope you feel good, and I will see you next time.